Let's go over systems approach steps. You can identify and solve problems in civil engineering systems by applying the 9 steps of the systems approach. Step 1 is to state the problem. But to state the problem, you first need to figure out what the problem is. The starting point to figure out what the problem is to conduct a needs assessment. Needs assessment is the process of listening to the needs and concerns of the users, owners, and everybody else that is impacted by the system, and then comparing the data collected against the system's purpose. By the way, this group of people is called the stakeholders. Step 2 is to frame the objective. And to frame an objective, you need to consider the hierarchy of desired outcomes, which includes values, overall goals, and objectives. Now, human values are the virtues that guide us to take action. Overall goals are broad statements of what the system is meant to achieve. A goal is a desired situation to which effort is directed, and an objective is a specified statement that is established from a goal and is designed to achieve that goal. In Module 3, and also in Module 4, I'll provide specific examples of values, overall goals, and objectives. To find the data requirements and decision variables on Step 3, a good question to ask yourself is what are the dimensions of the variables and objectives? Are they temporal, spatial, monetary, or are they based on social perception? Step 4 is to identify the constraints, which are rules, procedures, or laws that limit or restrict the operation and use of the system. I'll provide examples of this in Module 4. To establish the measures of performance or effectiveness on Step 5, you need to take a careful look at the objectives you define for the system and think about metrics that can track the performance or efficiency of the objectives. Module 5 covers this topic. In Step 6, you will investigate the alternatives that will accomplish the objective. This step is where past students have struggled the most because they confuse alternatives with objectives and vice versa. A good way to clear that confusion is to realize that objective answers the question, what does the system needs to accomplish? And the alternative answers the question, how will it be accomplished? In other terms, the objective is the what, and the alternative is the how. Now, for Step 7, you will generate a set of realistic alternatives that the objective can accomplish. Remember, alternatives are different ways to solve the same problem. Steps 6 and 7 are covered in Module 9. Step 8 is to evaluate the alternatives by conducting a decision tree analysis. Modules 10, 12, and 13 and 14 will guide you on how to accomplish this. And on Step 9, you will select the best alternative and write a formal recommendation to the system owner. In a nutshell, here are the 9 steps of the systems approach. State the problem, frame the objective, define the data requirements and decision variables, identify the constraints, establish the MOP and MOEs, investigate, generate, and evaluate, and also recommend the best alternative. Refer to this video often when you're working on assignments SB1, 2, and 3.